everybody, how you doing? This is your pal Boise with another daily sobriety video. I'm listening to U2's latest album, Easter Lily. It's an EP, and this one's called Life. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd. I've been sober for 14,309 days, 39 years, 3 months, 3 days, 470 months. Celebrating a life. It's kind of funny. There was a question thrown out, and this is kind of a reverse question to people, and it was, what would they say to someone who's been sober for 39 years? Me. So instead of me really answering, I'll be reacting to some of the things that have been said to me through text and messages and whatnot. But it's interesting because I'm looking at my phone here. It says, celebrating 39 years of sobriety is an incredible achievement. Thank you very much. It is important to acknowledge this milestone with genuine respect rather than treating it like a brand new recovery. Yeah, kind of an old recovery, I guess you could say. Ancient. The most common thing I hear is, people that are under 40 will literally say to me, holy shit, I haven't even been alive that long, which is a compliment and then kind of a shock to my system. Like, oh wow, yeah, almost everybody says that to me. There was somebody the other day said, oh wow, you've been sober 3 years. I've been alive 3 years longer than you've been sober. I don't know. Which still makes you more than 20 years younger than me. The mental math gets kind of crazy sometimes. But genuine milestone, respect rather than treating it like a brand new recovery. I mentioned that. Focus on words, on the legacy that he has built and the inspiration he provides to those around him. Kind of nice to hear. Keep the conversation respectful, grounded, focused on his long-term journey by using these approaches. God, they may be approaches. Focus on respect and legacy. I guess, yeah. 39 years is an entire lifetime of choices. That's a clever way to put that. I'm going to use that in the future. Your dedication has completely changed the trajectory of your life and everyone who loves you, and many who still hate me. I deeply admire the peace, strength, and balance that you've built. That's humbling for me to hear, considering when I started, there was very few people that even gave me a chance, much less encouraged me. It took a long time to get the fan club, the base started, shall we say. You've proven that true healing is a lifelong journey. That is really cool. That really is cool. And speaking of journey, I'm thinking of the band and their song, Don't Stop Believin'. See what I did there? Cheers. Happy sober anniversary. That's pretty cool. I'm just proud of you. Wow, okay, thank you. And I respect everything you've done to build a solid, real life. Here's to another year of clarity and joy. Well, sometimes I get a little cloudy, I gotta admit. But I work on clarity. And I work on being honest with full disclosure. Even when I'm moving forward with people that have just known me as being sober, our whole relationship, or people that known me from the past and are surprised that I'm still at it. It's pretty cool, actually. Things to avoid: overly clinical language. Avoid sounding like he's still in in the early fragile stages of the program. After 39 years, sobriety is a fundamental part of his identity. You gonna make it? Yeah, I'll be fine, thanks. It isn't gonna rattle my cage. I did have someone say, I'm gonna tell you something I think of you, and it's not gonna be very positive, so I hope it doesn't hurt your sobriety. And I'm like, there's nothing you can say that's gonna knock me off my sobriety horse. So if you have to say something, please say it, because that'll clear the air and you'll feel more comfortable around me as well. And I need to hear it. So we're good. Let it fly. Expressing excessive shock. Phrases like, I had no idea you used to struggle, can invalidate the past and make him feel uncomfortable. No, not me. Focusing on willpower instead of saying you are so strong, which can imply that you are one step away from weakness. Focus on the long-term achievements and resilience. It's kind of funny. They're worried about you suggesting weakness. It's kind of like being political, where they make sure they mince every word and make sure they're very accurate with what they're saying, because they don't want to imply something, and if they do, they are trying to imply it. So if you do full disclosure, you don't have to worry about shit like that. It's serious, and that's empowering. So yeah, don't have to worry about saying I'm strong, I'm all right. Let me know. You'd like to let me know. Okay. This is for a personal milestone celebration, like an anniversary dinner. Are you looking to write something on a card? No. I guess now they're trying to figure out, give me a gift or something. But it's kind of interesting, give you to approach me with things. It's kind of, I don't know. I didn't expect that. It just seemed kind of fun, yet kind of strange. How to compliment someone's sobriety. Hey, I'm really proud of your accomplishments. I want you to know that I admire you. Congratulations, all in capital. I can't imagine how much hard work you've put in, but I know that it's a lot. That's kind of cool. I have always believed in you. I'd like to hear that. I like to hear that from people. That's actually fantastic, because that gives me an insight of what that person's actually thinking as well. Positive motivational words are powerful, actionable. Okay. Tools that can shift your mindset, ease daily stress, and propel you forward with your goals. Think positive. Dream big. Stay positive. Okay. Aim high. Sounds like an Air Force commercial. Chase your dreams. Never give up. Keep going. Believe in yourself. Cool. All good things. It's interesting because they're also like, if you actually support someone and they're open and honest, and they allow you to be open and honest with them, you don't have to tippy-toe around words like that. This is kind of interesting for people who don't communicate with that person yet, and they're not used to full disclosure. They're basically one of those families that we don't say we love each other, we just know it. And it's that you don't know what to say around someone who is struggling with addiction. You don't know what to say around someone who's finally sober, and you worry that they might fall off the horse. You know, kind of like in the 60s when I was a kid, suicide was a bad word and no one spoke about it, and there was a certain shame to it. And even my grandmother would say, "Boysa, that's a shame. When a man kill himself, that's a shame. Black mark on the family." Very European. And she's from Yugoslavia at the time, was behind the Iron Curtain, so it was behind the Soviet rule. So yeah, real iron fist. Yeah, da, yeah. So yeah, you know, she was from the old country. The other thing no one spoke about was the C word, and I don't mean that word that they like to say in Australia, can't. You can't say it here. People get mad. I don't care. But you're a cunt if you're going to cry about it. You can't say that. I said, can't. I can't. I can't. Shut up. But it was cancer. Yeah. Cancer was a dirty word. Paul has cancer. Shh. Was it contagious if you say it out loud? Shut up. Don't be a smart aleck. It's the first thing I thought of. I was like 9 when Paul died, and I was like, we used to call him Chicha, which is Serb for Paul, and that's my middle name too. So I was named after him, and he died of cancer. Remember, we drove all the way back in my dad's Dodge Dart Swinger. Me and my brother stayed in the car, and they locked the doors and played some AM radio for me, rock and roll. And my dad had one speaker in the back where I sat behind my mom. That's where the speaker was, because he didn't want it close to him. And that way he could reach me. Boom! But, yeah, there was a method to his madness. Sometimes I deserved it, to be quite frankly. But I'm not here to talk about things like that. I'm talking about Paul's cancer, Chicha's cancer. And we stayed in there. Remember, we stayed in there, we fell asleep, we woke up, we were actually in the car from 7 o'clock at night, and my mom came out crying, and my dad came out, and it was like 1 in the morning, and he had died. And they just stayed with him until he died. And we weren't allowed to use the word cancer. Now, ironically, 10 years later, my mother died of a brain tumor, cancer too. People did say that then, and we did mention cancer. And back then, cancer was basically a death sentence. You didn't really have much of a chance. It's a lot different nowadays. But, yeah. Part of it was there was really no cure for it, so they didn't want to talk about it. So, I guess kind of like the Black Plague. A lot of people were dying from it in the Middle Ages. Or sometimes people think if they don't say it, it'll go away. And, that's juvenile, easy thinking, but we all do that from time to time. I mean, I remember when I got arrested, I was hoping it would go away. Like, I'm gonna wake up, they're gonna let me out of the holding tank before I see the judge. Just, you know what? Today is a mulligan day. You're free to go, Mr. Solom. Go out there and have yourself another drink, you stupid bastard. No, oddly enough, they didn't do that. And I would have taken him up on it, because he would have referred to me as a stupid bastard, and he would have been right. And I would have agreed to it. But, we all do dumb things. But when you look back, hindsight's 20/20. And the important thing is when you do mess up, you do your best to try to fix it. And be sincere. And at first, we're going to be absolutely clumsy doing it, and we're going to feel absolutely awkward, like we have nothing but thumbs on our hands. I've got 10 thumbs. Holy shit. The only thing this is good for is for me to hitchhike the fuck out of here. It's like it's really rough. And like someone said to me, and I told them, I said, what was the hardest part? I said, the first 5 years. Every day you're terrified, you're afraid you're going to just fuck it up. And if you're trying to do it really well, you're really afraid. And it's like, it's the closest I could describe being on a high wire act with no net underneath you. Because you knew that if you screwed up, it could be certain death as well to yourself. You could kill yourself by your drug use and your alcohol and whatever driving. I got into a car accident the last time. And, it's like, you can say it's an obvious thing that would have happened, and I would say, yeah, in hindsight, it was pretty damn obvious. But at the time, I wouldn't have thought that. Otherwise, I would have not driven that night, right? Just to avoid that. So sometimes you can't avoid what is going to be your inevitable future. Now, I was talking to someone earlier today, and we were talking about how different our lives would be, how different my life would be if my mom wouldn't have died when I was 18, and she was 39 at a young age. That was confusing to me, and she was my best friend. And my whole life changed at that point. And at the time, I was telling my mom and dad that I was going to take the summer off and just party a little bit and relax. I've been working hard, and then I'll apply for college and go for it. And then I started partying, and then she died, and I continued to party, and then it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and then I'm just describing a downward spiral, or like if you stop to watch a turd get flushed. That was me all the way until I was 27. And I often tell people I graduated from a class of 500. I graduated 250, right in the middle of Mr. Mediocre, Mr. Mediocrity. Hello, how are you? And then being sober, I applied myself. And then when I was at the University of Wisconsin, Superior, across the big Blotnick Bridge from Duluth into Soup Town, as we used to say. That's where we used to get drunk in Superior and call it Soup Town, because we got sloppy in Soup Town. Why did we do that? Because Soup Town was open till 2 o'clock in the morning for drinks, and Minnesota was 1. So if the bars were closing in Minnesota, you would just see a shitload of cars just going into Superior and hitting it for the last couple of drinks. And of course, every one of those cars, they were drunk, for God's sakes. And I was in that conga line of stupid, But off to Soup Town. So I thought it was kind of fitting that the university I attended was in Superior, in Soup Town. Now, prior to that, I was in a vocational college they had in Minnesota, and they had broadcasting. So I was in broadcasting school, and I became a DJ and that kind of stuff on a 100,000 watt radio station. Worked a couple of them. And that was kind of a weird, fun job for an 18-year-old. And me, Dave, and Jeff were all 18 years old. They had us in the newspaper that we were the kids taking over the airwaves, and we were doing dances for muscular dystrophy and raising money. And it's kind of local little celebrities for the summer. It was kind of fun, actually. And we were right out of high school, so we'd be doing all these high school dances, and we'd have girls asking us to take them to prom. So I didn't go to my own prom because I hurt my knee, and I had it in a cast and I had surgery, and so I didn't go. I didn't want to. I felt self-conscious, but I went to a lot of other proms in different schools because girls would ask us to take them out to prom. So it was kind of funny, actually. And just what a change from being Mr. Mediocre to very popular. And then later on, the drugs and alcohol took over. And then later on, to rise up and be in the top 5 percentile of the college that I was attending and being on the dean's list. That was exciting for me. And at the time, I was newly married, so I wanted to make sure that my wife knew that I was doing the best I could and that I was a horse worth backing. Just wanted to impress her because I had done so much damage with women in my life from before her that I wanted to make sure I didn't fuck this one up. So I worked really hard at it and focused on that. And all in all, that it turned out to be a pretty good life. But we were talking about how our lives changed and how I changed. And some of the people I knew, when the day we stopped seeing each other or communicating with each other due to my drug use or a death in the group. I was talking to some people about how those changes occur, and some of those would even have different names because there were children that were born that because of dad not being there, they didn't name the child after dad, obviously. Some were named after their dads, and then their dads flaked out. So this poor woman would be stuck with her beautiful child with the name of the jackass that left her. and just how life changes and how life can change you. And you focus all your effort, talking to some ladies, they focus all their effort on their children because the bad situations that alcohol and drugs had did with their fathers, and they didn't want their children to ever experience that. And they put everything they could into their children, and now their children are going to college, and the last one just graduated. So now it's an empty nest syndrome, which is real. And after all that, you're just left alone. I mean, yeah, you can still have your husband and other things and your pets, but your initial core is now gone. Your chicks have flown out of the nest. Change. So much change in the world that sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming. And even people that have been sober for a long time, when they feel the empty nest syndrome, all of a sudden they're just drinking wine to start coping, and they figure wine, it's just wine. It isn't like I'm drinking Jack Daniels right now, but eventually you're drinking, you're gonna get worse. And pretty soon you're self-medicating. This time you're self-medicating over the feeling of loneliness and alienation because your children are no longer with you every day, and they're becoming mini adults, and they can actually not follow your advice or even, God forbid, talk back to you because now they're adults. Cheers. So even being sober all those years, that can really affect a person and shake them up to their core. But like, you know, that question about being 39 years, it's like, well, that's just, you know, yeah, I'm just providing myself some actual dialogue about just being sober, and some of the things that are said out here to me is just amazing because they're not questions, they're more like statements. But you know, 39 years is an entire lifetime of choices. Your dedication has completely changed the trajectory in your life and everyone who loves you. But it's really amazing to me. It's like an entire lifetime of choices. Because you live by day and you look for those choices, and if you get triggered, you make sure you don't react in a negative way and start putting the bottle in your mouth, or the Coke up your nose, or the needle in your arm, and all that fun stuff. And just totally ruin your life just overnight with just one big or one big injection, or just a big gulp of the liquor bottle. And every day you wake up, you know, it's a blessing. I had someone today, I was getting some dinner for Kim and just bringing it home. I had a little bit too, but I wasn't that hungry. And I asked her, so how you doing today? And she said, God got me up, so I've got to be happy about it. So I'm blessed. Got to be happy about it, so I'm blessed. Like, okay, you finally convince yourself it's gonna be a great day. Well, we all say stuff, you know. I'm more likely a guy to say, how you doing today? Oh, man, same shit, different day. That's to my close friends. I wouldn't walk around the clinic saying something like that. And I do it just to tweak my friends a little bit, because they're like, you all right? Yeah, I'm just messing with you, man. Just another day in paradise, you know what I mean? Although, when I say just another day in paradise, I'm a little confused. Why is that? Well, usually my definition of paradise, I'm not wearing pants. Strange. We all have different definitions of paradise, don't we? But, you know, you do what you do what you can, just so that you can breathe deep, move on to the next adventure, your next move, your next thing you have to do, whether it's like tomorrow I got a little grocery list, I got to do a little grocery shopping while I'm running errands. And you think that's just mundane, but the family needs it, so it's important that I get it done in the middle of doing things. Just like yesterday, I got up really early, and to make sure I didn't have to mess with the garbage can, I brought the garbage can to the curb early. So much, in fact, that I almost backed into it going on. I'm like, oh, great. Thank God for a backup camera. And Then later on, I came home. Garbage can was upside down. The trash man had come. I put it up, put it away. All right, check garbage off my list for today. But I didn't get a chance to get groceries. These little mundane things that you think are not that important are important. You are doing whatever you can to keep your nest feathered and your village within your community, your four walls happy. Your neighbors don't give a rip if you took your garbage out and got some food. Your neighbors care if your lawn is cut, because then that way the neighborhood, the cul-de-sac looks right. I just got a thing from homeowners associations like, you're not supposed to leave cars in your front yard that are not operable. Bitch, it was a 2020 Toyota Prius, the one I'm in right now. I parked it outside because I had some stuff I had to get out of the garage, because here in Texas, they got rid of the water heater in the middle of the garage, and those assholes put it in the attic. Now, every 8 years, your water heater breaks, because even if you have a filter, water is hard and it ruins and it's corrosive. God forbid we drink it. Don't need the EPA, right? Say no more, say no more. And then this thing leaks. Now, near as I can tell, water runs downhill. That's just fucking science. And it runs through your attic. Then it tears the ceiling, goes to your second floor. In this case, it was an open cathedral room that goes into the great room and crashes, and even the hardwood floor was warped, and it was just water coming. Now, not only did they take it out of the garage and put it upstairs, they did this deliberately, because then those bitches made the garage smaller. So when I opened the door, I could almost hit Kim's car and she could almost hit mine. Assholes, what the fuck, really? Now, back in Nashville, water heater was in the garage. One time I came home, work from Applebee's, closing my store. What? There's water pouring out of my garage. Water heater blew. Son of a biscuit. I guess that bitch is 8 years old. Just went over and I just turned the knob and shut it off. Didn't have to go upstairs, right? In the attic. Shut it off. Vernon, who was our maintenance man for Applebee's, I called him. Hey, can you come over and fix that? Yeah, get a new water heater. And all that water heater did was run water over my concrete floor, not down the driveway. No water damage in the house. Here in Texas, the whole middle of the house got destroyed. Assholes. And then Vernon just took his truck, backed it up right to where the water heater was, unhooked it, lifted it up, put it in his truck, took the other one out, hooked it up, good to go. No big deal. I mean, it still sucks, but it was like, didn't ruin your house. Here it ruins your house. And I can't believe that they allow contractors to do that, because they pass money to, like, say, Cornyn and Lion Ted Cruz, and they're like, helping us make money. It's like a job creator, for the rich builders. It lets them hire a few new accountants. But here you buy a $300,000 house that's built to piss like a leaky fucking tub during a hurricane every 8 years. And they can easily stop that. Easily. And they have single pane windows, because that way in Minnesota they're double pane, because you want to keep the heat in, because God forbid it's 40 below, you want to keep heat, someone's going to die. No. Here they got single pane. You wonder why your insurance, your insurance is high too, but why your utility bills are so high. And my neighbor will say, well, so it's in Texas, it's 95 to 105, so it's always going to be hot, Boise. What the fuck, man? Why is the bill $325? Single pane. And I realized it one winter when it was a hard freeze, which is below 32 here for even 12 hours. I'm standing in front of the window and I felt like the wall was missing. And that's when I realized it was single pane. And it's like, you sons of bitches. Up in Minnesota, it's a law that you have a double pane, but not here. And that's the reason why our fucking utility bills are sky high. Who the fuck did that? So the senators allow that kind of stuff to go on, and it's not against the law. And it can be easily stopped. All it takes is one insurance company to say, look, You have a water heater in your attic. We're not going to cover that house. What? Yeah, in 8 years it's going to be water damage. We don't want to kick that money out. It's bullshit. Just so you can save a little bit to make a smaller garage. Kiss my ass. And if the house can't be insured, the house is not going to be sold unless you can write a check for $300,000. Ta-da! Boy, that could be easily fixed. But instead, in Texas, we get our houses messed with constantly. Change. We need change. We need change in the government. We need change in our life. We need change in our relationships. We need change in everything. We need change. We need to change our underwear, right? And if you don't, that explains a halo of flies around your ass. But we all need change. And I'm old. I don't really care for much change. But sometimes we need it. And then I adjust. And then change becomes regular. And I'm good with it. So eventually I adjust too. But that's change. That's just how we adapt. Anyways, thank you. Let's do the stats one more time, because God help me, I don't remember this stuff, because tomorrow's going to be another day, right? But today on the daily sobriety video vlog, can't even get it right, daily sobriety vlog, ta-da! It's Wednesday, June 3rd. I've been sober for 14,309 days, 39 years, 3 months, 3 days. 470 months. Thank you for following. Thank you, Patreon, Venmo, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, ding, 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 chime. You're all wonderful. Helps us with the outreach program. Thank you for just hanging out and just we talked about change. We talked about how you talk to someone who's been sober for 39 years. We got a lot to cover. We're going to cover something every day. And I want you to enjoy. I want you to hear some of the stuff. Some stuff will definitely apply to you immediately. Some not at all. Some later. But what's important, you like and subscribe and you comment down below. And if you've been sober for 25 years and you just met someone who's been sober for 2.5 years, say hi. Say hi to them. They're on the team too. Reach out to other people. We all need each other. With that being said, thank you for spending your time with me. It's very important. Your time is important. From the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul, I see you. Thank you, each and every one of you. And in the words of Ringo, peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. And on a Wednesday night, June 3rd, it's, what time is it? 11:28. It's getting late, folks. Getting late. But I just wanted to pull over, and I was just taking a break, so I just wanted to say hi. And thank you. Peace and love. I appreciate the fact that you're here with me. I really do. Thank you. I'll see you on the next daily sobriety vlog. Peace out and peace and love. Thank you all. Good night.